Welcome back to Recap Junkies. Today we're exploring Revolver, a 2005 psychological thriller directed by Guy Ritchie. This gripping tale of revenge and strategy keeps viewers on edge with its intricate storyline and sharp twists. Spoilers ahead, so proceed with caution. Revolver is a gripping crime thriller that delves deep into the psychology of its characters while exploring themes of ego, identity, and the illusions of power. At its heart, the film is about a man's journey to confront and transcend his own destructive ego, set against a backdrop of deception, manipulation, and criminal intrigue. Jake Green, Jason Statham, is a brilliant but arrogant gambler who has spent 7 years in solitary confinement in prison. His incarceration came about after crime lord Dorothy Macha, Ray Liotta, indirectly caused the death of his sister-in-law and framed Jake for a crime he didn't commit. Now out of prison, Jake is driven by a single burning desire: revenge. Armed with a winning formula for all games, taught to him by two mysterious men during his time in solitary, Jake infiltrates Macha's high-stakes casino game. He humiliates Macha by winning a vast sum of money, setting off a chain reaction of consequences. Macha, a man ruled by paranoia and ego, hires a hitman to eliminate Jake, sending him into a dangerous game of cat and mouse. At this point, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more gripping stories. Hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. We appreciate your support. While Jake is targeted by Macha's hitmen, his journey takes a darker, more introspective turn. After a blackout, Jake learns that he has a rare blood disease and only 3 days to live. Desperate and cornered, Jake meets Zach and Avi, Ray Liotta and Vincent Cassell, enigmatic figures who offer him protection, but at a steep price. Jake must give up all his winnings and obey their every command. Reluctantly, Jake agrees, and his descent into this game of survival begins. Zach and Avi guide Jake through a series of increasingly dangerous assignments, revealing the deeper layers of his vendetta against Macha. But nothing is as it seems. The men who at first appear to be real players in the criminal world soon push Jake to confront his own violent tendencies and manipulative strategies. Each scenario is carefully orchestrated to test Jake's loyalty, courage, and ultimately, his ego. One pivotal moment occurs when Jake hesitates to take an elevator at the casino. His lifelong claustrophobia triggers a panic attack, but he is urged by the bodyguards to enter. This scene foreshadows the deeper psychological battles Jake will face as the story progresses, as the elevator becomes a metaphor for his internal struggles. At the hospital, Jake receives confirmation of his rare blood disease and is told he will die within days. This grim diagnosis further heightens the stakes of his journey, adding urgency to his quest for survival. Zach and Avi offer him a chance to live, but the terms of their agreement place him in their debt and under their control. As the story unfolds, Jake's backstory is revealed. In prison, he formed a deal with the Eddies, a group of criminals. Jake used his formula for winning at games to his advantage, outwitting the Eddies and taking their money. This earned him their wrath, and they attempted to have him killed, only for Jake to escape with the help of the formula. This experience helped shape Jake's psyche, teaching him the value of manipulation and the power of the ego. Parallel to Jake's story, Macha's obsession with power leads him to seek a deal with the mythical crime kingpin, Sam Gold. Gold, however, is not a real person. He represents the ultimate embodiment of ego and greed, the force that controls Macha's every decision. Jake uncovers the truth about Gold, understanding that the figure is a fabrication, a metaphor for the ego that drives men to destruction. In a conversation with Avi, Jake recalls how he used his formula in prison, where he played a metaphorical game of chess with his captors. The formula was not just about winning in games, it was a strategy for life, one that ultimately helped Jake to escape the prison of his mind and body. Jake and his partners pull off a daring heist, stealing a safe containing powder that Matcha had promised to Lily, his advisor. The robbery is meticulously planned to frame Matcha, making it appear as though he and Lord John had robbed each other. This marks a key moment in Jake's mission to dismantle Matcha's empire and humiliation. The culmination of Jake's journey occurs when he walks past Matcha in his casino without fear. This is the moment when Jake finally breaks free from the grip of his ego. Matcha, unable to understand Jake's newfound peace, is consumed by his own insecurities. His ego's voice convinces him that the only way to reclaim control is through self-destruction, leading to a tragic and poetic end. Matcha's inability to let go of his ego ultimately seals his fate. The climax of Revolver becomes a psychological showdown. Jake infiltrates Matcha's home and confronts his ultimate fear, himself. He finds himself trapped in an elevator, and his lifelong claustrophobia becomes a metaphor for his internal battle with his ego. In a moment of profound self-realization, Jake engages in an internal dialogue where he rejects the voice of his ego, finally breaking free from its grip. This moment of liberation allows him to face Matcha with serenity and confidence, no longer bound by fear or the need for validation. In the final twist, Zach and Avi reveal that they were never real people at all. Instead, they were symbolic representations of Jake's inner conscience and reasoning, guiding him through his psychological journey. They were never about survival in the criminal world. They were about transcending it, teaching Jake to confront his deepest fears and ultimately rise above them. Jake's victory isn't over Matcha or the criminal empire, but over himself. By rejecting greed, manipulation, and fear, Jake emerges as a free man. He has transcended the false narratives that the ego creates, breaking free from the game of power and control. Revolver is not only a crime thriller, but a profound exploration of the nature of ego, identity, and power. The film challenges viewers to confront their own perceptions of control and to question the cost of external validation. Through Jake's journey, we learn that the greatest battles we face are often within, and true freedom comes from rejecting the illusions that bind us. The film's non-linear narrative, rich symbolism, and philosophical depth leave the audience with lingering questions long after the credits roll. Revolver teaches us that by transcending the ego, we can escape the cycle of violence, manipulation, and self-doubt, ultimately achieving the freedom we seek.